9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Hey, happy Thursday. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and today could have some active weather for us across northeastern Colorado. We've got some dust, some wind, and some storms head our way, and then some snow tonight. So one of those Colorado bags of potpourri kind of weather days ahead for us this afternoon and this evening. Again, I think we're going to be seeing pretty nice temperatures, already 64 here in Denver right now. We're heading up to at least 70 degrees, maybe a bit higher than that. And then tonight we get a sharp cold front that will move its way on through, and that'll change things quite a bit for us. Right now, Denver, sunny skies, not much in the way of any troubles outside right now, but trust me, a couple hours from now, things are going to look a little bit different for us here along the Front Range. So mild today, storms, wind tonight. That'll flip over to some wet snow, a couple inches possible on the Divide and in the foothills. But in the meantime, I actually think the main concern over the next couple of hours will be the threat for some gusty thunderstorms for us across northeastern Colorado, especially for Fort Collins as well as east into Greeley, Fort Morgan, Sterling, Holyoke, Julesburg. This is where we could see the potential for some damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour. Also look out for some pretty strong winds in general for us between about 4 and 8 p.m. tonight. And by the way, that does include us here in the Denver area. So if you're watching me from Denver, anywhere in the metro area, just keep in mind between about 4 and 8 p.m. we could get some pretty dusty conditions outside as this front moves its way on through, and those winds could gust up to 50, maybe even 60 miles an hour here in town. Now, winter weather advisories in place. So again, we're running the whole gambit here in terms of weather for us across Colorado for this afternoon and this evening. And we do have a winter weather advisory above 6,000 feet in elevation for most of the foothills, the Palmer Divide, as well as through southern Colorado. And in some cases could see as much as 8 inches worth of accumulation from our next storm system. AC Doppler radar is quite statewide right now, but you look off to our north, and that's where our cold front is lurking. It's now pushing its way through northern Wyoming. This is zipping south, and this will reach us probably the Colorado border by about 2-3 o'clock or so this afternoon, and then most of the Denver area probably between about 4 and 8 p.m. is when that front will roll its way on through this afternoon and this evening. That'll drop temperatures, bring us that burst of gusty winds, and even a few thunderstorms in association with it as well. So that forecast, about 4:30, front moves its way on through. Again, you might not see it here, but some gusty winds, some dusty conditions make their way through the Denver area, and then we'll see a pretty good surge of moisture work its way on through around 7, 8, 9 o'clock or so this afternoon and this evening. That'll bring us some rain into the mountains, some snow, and that will eventually change over to snow, including here in Denver. I think we're going to briefly flip over to snow here in town as well. And then by about tomorrow morning, we're done with this, and it's just kind of a chilly day ahead for tomorrow with generally calmer conditions. Close look in here at the metro area in terms of what we can expect. By about 6:30 tonight, I think we'll start to see some of those showers and thunderstorms start to pop on up for us across the metro area. It'll be a little earlier the further north you go, and then by about 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, we get some of that rain and perhaps a flip to snow for us around midnight, 1 a.m. It won't last all that long below 6,000 feet in elevation, so the majority of the Denver area. I think what you can expect is a little bit of slush after midnight. Temperatures today, with us getting up to about 70 degrees, it's going to be very hard for any of that snow to stick. So just keep that in mind, that the ground is going to be very, very warm. We got the high April sun angle plus those 70-degree temperatures. That snow, if it snows for an hour or two, it's not going to stick at all. If we get 3-4 hours of snow, then we might get a little bit of slush out there. I think that's what ends up happening below 6,000 feet. We'll get a little slush in the car top, on the grass. That'll do it. But in the Palmer Divide and the foothills, that's where we could see some longer periods of snow, and as a result, we could see some more meaningful accumulations, and that could include roadways out on the Divide and the foothills. Snowfall totals in town, not expecting anything, maybe a little bit of slush as I mentioned. But once you start getting up in elevation, that's where you start seeing some of that snowfall. So this is a general idea of what to expect. South side of town, west side of town, again, around 6,000 feet, maybe a slushy inch or so. You get to about 6,500, 7,000 feet. That's where you're maybe talking about 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5, 6 inches worth of accumulation from this next storm. But this is going to make it very difficult for that snow to stick. Already 64 degrees. And in fact, I was just chatting with my colleague, meteorologist Lauren Robinson, about we just bumped up those forecast highs to 70 for us here in town. At this point, we may have to bump those up even further. Would not be surprised to get up to 72, 73 at this rate. Already 64 for us in Denver. We're getting some pretty strong mixing, some stronger winds. That'll accelerate some of that warming as we head over the next couple of hours. So for today, we'll leave it at 70, but again, 71, 72, 73 seems pretty realistic at this point. And that afternoon dust and some of those storms between about 4 and 8 p.m. Then it's a period of rain, then it's snow. So one of those days where we're going to get a little bit of everything over a 6-hour time period. Highs already mostly in the 60s on the Eastern Plains so far today. Tonight we'll drop down to around freezing overnight tonight with that rain to snow this evening. Initially rain, mostly rain below 6,000 feet, but we'll see a little slush at the end. By the way, sunset, 7:49 tonight. We officially get our first 8 p.m. sunset of the year coming up on May 7th. So that is at the, what is that, next weekend. Not this upcoming weekend, the weekend after is when we start seeing those first 8 p.m. sunsets of the year. We'll keep those through August. Tomorrow, temperatures just the low to mid 50s for us here in Denver. Our average high this time of year, we're normally in the mid 60s on average for the last few days of the month of April. So when we're talking about those low to mid 50s, it's about 10 degrees below the seasonal average. So pretty chilly stuff. Early showers, and then we'll see those skies clear as we head through the day. We'll see lots of sunshine, probably by about noon or so, but it's a deceptive sunshine, a chilly sunshine with those highs only in the 50s, Eastern Plains 30s and 40s in the high country. Now, this was the good news from this last storm system. We picked up over 2 inches of rain in Pueblo. This is the part of the state that needs the rain the most. I'll show you the drought monitor map in just a second. But first things first, that 7-day forecast. Those temps get on up into the mid 70s for early to mid next week. It's a pretty nice week ahead. A very, of course, worth noting that Monday is the start of May, and normally here in Colorado we associate May with the start of stormy season, thunderstorms. And right on cue, come Monday, May the 1st, we're going to be seeing fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms for the beginning and middle part of next week, with those temperatures getting into low to mid 70s for us. Weekend looks really nice, by the way. Temps around 70 both days. Lots of sunshine ahead for us as we head over the next little while. Once we get one cool day, then it's really nice for the weekend and early to mid next week. Things looking nice. Now, I mentioned the drought, mentioned that Pueblo rainfall amount. Look at the drought monitor map. This is updated as of this morning. Keep in mind, the drought monitor map takes into account the rainfall through the previous Tuesday. So this does not account for basically all the moisture we saw from our most recent storm system, including what we saw in Pueblo. But we got a lot of meaningful rainfall and snowfall across parts of the state that really needed it. So excellent news. Mother Nature doing some pretty good work here over the last little while, bringing us a lot of that widespread rain and snow that we so badly needed. But overall, top line takeaways, next 6 to 12 hours, or sorry, I should say next 12 to 18 hours are going to be fairly busy weather-wise for us here across the state, with this afternoon blowing dust and some thunderstorms, especially north of Denver between about 4 and 8 p.m. as a cold front moves through. Then after 8 p.m., it's just kind of plain rain. Then we'll flip things over to snow with a couple inches possible above 6,000 feet in elevation on the Palmer Divide and the foothills. Here in Denver, we'll probably see a little bit of slush. That'll pretty much do it. Tomorrow's chilly, beautiful weekend storms for next week. Hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect. If not, meteorologist Lauren Robinson, somewhere over there. Yep, right over there, getting ready for 9 News at noon. And Lauren will have another update for you coming up at 9 News, on 9 News Plus here at 2 p.m. as well. Then Chief Meteorologist Kathy Siemens in at 4 and 5. And then we've got meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Thursday.